This is not a child sitting here. 100 years ago, a man this age was running countries. जिसने इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम नहीं समझे, उसको इस्लाम समझ नहीं आ सकता. They have learned to pose in front of you so well, especially girls, that you will never be able to detect कि आपका बच्चा असल में आपके पीछे क्या कर रहा है. Netflix and Hollywood is way more attractive. They know how to tell a story. They know how to convince our children than us. Do you know England is the only atheistic country officially in the world? Did you know that? Psychology is not how a person thinks. Psychology is why a person does stuff. Okay? Why हम क्यों ऐसा behave करते हैं को psychology कहते हैं. हम क्यों ऐसा सोचते हैं को philosophy कहते हैं. Hajra A.S. is holding a human child. That child's name is Ismail. Ismail. He's an infant. Do we have an infant in the room here? We have an infant? No, nobody brought an infant? I want you guys to see that infant. Oh, there's an infant. Now look at that infant. By the way, that's not how old Ismail is. Ismail as-salam was younger than that child. Okay? How old is this child? Yeah, Ismail as-salam is younger than this child. Okay? So look at the lady with the child and see Hajra A.S. Okay? Hassan, stay with me, okay? And Hajra A.S. does not know when the trip starts of what's about to happen. Ibrahim A.S. knows what's about to happen. Imagine what he's going through. Because they're going, this husband and wife and the infant is going. Now don't listen to the Jews in this one, because they say that Sarah A.S. told Ibrahim A.S. to just go and throw away this little woman and the child out of jealousy. That's not true. Okay. And I know it's not true because I've read about this. But they think it's true because they read about their own things, about their own books. It's not in the Bible, it's in the commentary of the Bible. Well, not the Bible, the Torah. So, this man, this father, what's his name? The infant's boy? Is it a girl? Fatima, I don't get the first word. Okay, so Fatima. So Fatima's father, what's his name? What's his name? Suleiman and Fatima. Look at him. Suleiman and Fatima. Okay. Now, there is no doubt that we all know that Suleiman would do anything for Fatima, right? I mean, he would literally die for Fatima. That's natural. That's natural. So Hassan, that's here. The safety of the child, security, right? And Ibrahim A.S. is giving the child to Hajra A.S. And then he says, this is where we part today. Imagine your husband saying this to you. Have you experienced this story in your own head? Ever in your Muslim life? Oh, my Muslim sisters. Have you really gone through the experience in your head about what Hajra A.S. and Ibrahim A.S. were going through? When this moment was, no? Not even once? किसी भी खातून ने कभी भी नहीं इमेजिन किया कि मेरे साथ ऐसा हो रहा हो तो मेरे पे क्या गुजरेगी. कभी असल में अपने जहन में गई हूं कि ये क्या हो, ये हुआ, ये क्यों हुआ क्यों ये वाकया. नो. उर्दू नो इफेक्ट, इंग्लिश नो इफेक्ट. रियली अमेजिंग. भाई साहब, आप लोगों को समझ आ रही है? ओके. कभी आपने लोगों ने इमेजिन किया अपने बच्चे को, you giving your child to your wife and just going? Have you gone through this moment in a Muslim life of your own? इस बारे में सोचा है कभी अपनी अडल्ट लाइफ में आप लोगों ने? नो. इस वजह से फलस्तीन आज़ाद नहीं हो सकता. No. You're not busy. I'm sorry. No. That's it. This is the reason. This is not the start of a session. This is the end of the message today. जिसने इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम नहीं समझे, उसको इस्लाम समझ नहीं आ सकता. So let's quit this drama of us calling ourselves Muslims, calling ourselves Hassan. You know who Hassan is? What's his full name? How many siblings did he have? How many siblings did Hassan al-Islam had? See, we don't know our own people, buddy. But you know Maslow. You know? We know Maslow. Maslow said this. I want you to open your cell phones. Go to Surah Ibrahim. Surah Ibrahim. Where Ibrahim al-Islam is giving his child to his wife and saying, we are never meeting again. You are on your own in this desert where there is not even a bird you can see. No water, no nothing, no animals, no human beings. Imagine your husband saying this and imagine you saying this to your wife. Don't imagine your wife saying this to you. Imagine you saying this to your wife and forsaking your child, and then imagine, after you've done that, you imagine what is it that you are going to demand for that child. So Ibrahim alayhi salam goes around the dune, hides himself, because he does not want Hajra alayhi salam to see him crying, because he's crying. He is crying, and Hajra alayhi salam is walking. She turns around and says, just tell me this one thing. Is this you who's doing this to me? And Ibrahim alayhi salam is saying, no, this is not me. Okay? This doesn't mean कि सारा अलैहिस्सलाम ने करवाएगा. Which means कि अल्लाह का हुक्म है भाई. अभी तो बहुत बड़ा वाक़या होना है. अभी तो इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम ने इस बच्चे को ज़बह भी करना है. Okay? अभी ये बच्चा थोड़ा सा बड़ा होगा, 6 साल बाद यही बंदा अपने ही इसी बेटे अलैहिस्सलाम के गर्दन में छुरी भी फेर देंगे. This man अलैहिस्सलाम has gone through a lot. As a man, he's gone through more than any human being that you'll ever read has gone through. Focus on Ibrahim alayhi salam. I didn't ask this question, you guys did. So understand the problem. If you have not understood Ibrahim alayhi salam, you cannot practice Islam. Whoever is practicing Ibrahim alayhi salam's psychology is going to take over the world. अभी आपके इस हॉल में आ रहा था. I was coming here, and this is a Jewish area. You know, you talk to any Jewish man or woman, and you ask him, do you know the story about Ibrahim alayhi salam and his slaughtering of the son? 12-year-old is going to narrate what Ibrahim alayhi salam was going through. You know why? Because they're trained into it. So in Surah Ibrahim alayhi salam turns around, starts praying, and he draws a triangle. He draws a triangle for his infant son. What does he say? Allah Azza wa Jalla says in the Quran, what is the first thing Ibrahim alayhi salam asked for? Who's going to tell me? The Hafiz. You'll have to be a little louder. I can. मुझे तो आप लोग समझ नहीं मुझे आपकी आवाज़. It says.
Is it okay if we take the next question?
What do you think?
Oh, it is. All right. So something wrong here.
I was just going to say we're going to start your presentation soon, so we're about 20 minutes in. Is it okay if we take the next question? Because it's like 4, or do you want to add on this one?
Oh, you want me to take the next question?
That's what we were hoping, and if you're satisfied with the answer, then we can. The viewers would like to ask one question, and then we can go on to.
Who has another question in? You have another question? Did you get the answer to this question? Then how would you not want me to finish the first answer? You see, I don't get this. This happens a lot. How can you not? I mean, this is not the error of timing only. It's an error of understanding here. We're talking about Ibrahim alayhi salam. That's why no Muslim child is going to understand Ibrahim alayhi salam, because when Ibrahim alayhi salam is introduced, some girl wants to ask another question. What can be more important than Ibrahim alayhi salam? I want to really know that. Just a little test. So what's the next question? I'm going to finish this, don't worry. What's the question? Sorry. Take it. Yes, what's the next question? Very sorry. Okay. Yes?
So, how is peer pressure from what Western friends affect young Muslims' faithfulness to their values and how they revere Islam? Because we're living in a very secular society here. So, yes, that was my question.
Oh, peer pressure in Western society. And where does Islam come into? Help relieve the peer pressure? Aisha, peer pressure in Islam, just say it to me, I'll repeat it. I can hear you.
So, I was wondering if situations like in schools or...
School, yeah, I know what peer pressure is.
Yeah, so when the young Muslim is impressionable, he interacts with he or she in practice.
So how is he going to keep Islam intact while there's so many non-Muslim elements constituting that peer pressure? Yeah? Okay. I get the question. Aisha, always tell me your full name. How old are you? You're 17-year-old. Okay. Why do you want to keep Islam intact in the peer pressure? Why? Let Islam go. Why? If it's there, it's going to survive itself. Isn't this a good theory? Get her the microphone. I want her to debate this with me. Right after I'm done with this, Aisha, keep the microphone with you. Don't let it go. Hold on to the microphone, otherwise I'm going to forget about this. Give it to her, yeah. So just turn it on. Don't turn it on. So, can someone open Surah Ibrahim and tell me what Ibrahim is asking for? Using an iPhone or an Android phone, just Google up what is the demand and the prayer of Ibrahim at the time when he's, giving away his child to the desert. Anyone? Yes, sir. You have it? No, don't ask me that, man. I told you to cheat. Open the cell phone. Google up, man. Come on. Muslims. You guys can't go in Lord. Come on. That's why Yahudi jeet rahe hain, Allah ki qasam. हमें इस्लाम समझ ही नहीं, हम बेसिक्स भी नहीं कर सक रहे. We can't even type Ibrahim al-Islam. And they're training the world. Benjamin Netanyahu UN के अंदर खड़ा होकर इब्राहिम al-Islam के लेक्चर दे रहा है. खुदा की कसम, quoting him that इब्राहिम al-Islam को प्रॉमिस हुआ ये लैंड इसराइल का. वो नेतन्याहू तो रात सुना रहा है. हम गूगल भी नहीं कर सकते हैं कुरान. So this is a problem. Aisha, forget peer pressure. I need non-Muslims to pressurize us. I hope Muslims don't pressurize you to becoming one of us. Otherwise, you're going to become like your nani and ammi and my mommy. And that's a failure. You're going to burn in hell. I'm telling you this right now. Look at the failures that we all are. I'd rather do whatever the world is doing and still I'm going to make it on the parameters of Muhammad bin Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Umar al-Khattab and Ali bin Abi Talib. Then to have these standards which we practice in Pakistan and India and Bangladesh and England, for God's sakes. So understand, why did you not know, Hassan, that this masculine triangle is in the Quran? Why?
Incompetence.
Say what now?
Incompetence.
Okay, if you were competent, how would you have found out?
I would have read the Quran and I would have found it out.
But what's going to stop you from reading the Quran now?
Nothing.
No, there is something. I promise you, you're not going to read the Quran tomorrow, man. I promise you this right now. We have a bet of 100 pounds. Right now, you're not going to read the Quran the next week and try and find out things. I'll tell you because I know what's going to happen in the next week. I am betting 100 pounds.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do this, man. Okay, yeah. Now, Aisha, how can I bet 100 pounds that this boy, 19, in front of the crowd, betting that he's going to open the Quran and still not going to do it? What is the magic that I know? Beta Mike, there's a reason why this physics. Yeah. Close the mic. Put the microphone close to your mouth and now say something, please.
Our mindset is
Yes, and that mindset is comprised of some things. I'm going to show you that. Keep the microphone close to you, please. As soon as you throw it away, I think you're done. What does he mean by mindset?
The psychology of a.
Yeah, what does that mean, man? What does that mean? Psychology, what does that mean?
What a person thinks, how a person thinks.
Nope, psychology is not how a person thinks. Psychology is why a person does stuff. Okay? Why हम क्यों ऐसा बिहेव करते हैं को साइकोलॉजी कहते हैं. हम क्यों ऐसा सोचते हैं को फिलॉसफी कहते हैं. That's the problem why most people don't change their behavior, because they think psychological or philosophical issues के बीच में shuttlecock खेल रहे होते हैं. So this is not psychology, this is philosophy. Okay, Maslow was a psychologist, but this is his philosophy, that this, the culmination of the human being, in his opinion, this is self-actualization. That's not the culmination of any human being. Because if human beings are created by another being, to understand that being is the culmination of the human being's philosophy. But this man didn't even believe that human beings are created by another being. So you need to know how to fix this triangle. Anybody found Ibrahim alayhi salam? Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Quran? Ibrahim alayhi salam stuff. You found him? Okay, what's the first thing he asked for?
Do you want me to read the translation?
Or the Arabic? I'll do the translation myself, don't worry.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا إني أسكنت من ذريتي بواد غير ذي زرع عند بيتك المحرم.
Okay, listen. This microphone is not helping, nor is the speed. Up translation नहीं पढ़ते कोई नहीं.
Our Lord, I have settled some of my offspring in a barren valley near your sacred house.
Now this is a scenario. Now he's going to ask for something later, okay?
Our Lord, so that they may establish prayer, so make the hearts of believing people incline towards them and provide them with fruits, so perhaps they will be thankful.
There you go. Now whoever wrote this translation did not really like. Can you hear this? आपको भी अच्छा, okay. I was thinking I'm losing it. So split this ayah. This ayah is in Arabic in 3 portions. You just made a single portion in English, right? So first thing is,
it's a dua to Allah to settle my offspring in a barren valley.
इसके आगे.
Yeah. So they establish prayer.
Yeah, the first thing is, now the way he's written the translation, that guy is either Yusuf Ali or whoever, the Pictal, whoever he's reading, that's a translator. That's not Allah's words, okay? He's paraphrasing Allah's words. That's what the mistake these translators do, okay? That's why most of our teenagers are not going to jump into the Quran. That's why I know he's not going to be able to do it, even if he wants to do the Quran. Because the translator is standing between him and the Quran. Allah is not saying in this way. Whatever this translator is doing, it should be a sin, because he's pushing people away from the Quran. Allah is saying that Ibrahim is standing tall, and Ibrahim is praying to Allah Azza wa Jal. 3 different things he asked. In Arabic, you can see the pause. There's a, the Quran, the Tajweed. In Tajweed, you cannot continue when there is a certain mandatory pause in the ayah. And there are mandatory pauses in the ayah here. But this translator is disregarding all of that. You understand me? And there's a reason why there's a mandatory pause, so that people could understand the importance of that portion inside the verbiage. That's the problem. Now, the way you're reading is also not helping the cause, because you're just going through like a newscaster. You need to understand what Ibrahim alayhi salam is saying. He's saying, listen, everybody, he's saying, Ya Allah, mere bacche ko sabse pehle kya de?
Prayer.
Yes, that's not the word. Okay, the word is salah there.
Salah.
Yeah. ये उर्दू में उसका, इंग्लिश में उसका मतलब है प्रेयर। ओके, वो ये नहीं कह रहे या अल्लाह मेरे बच्चे को नमाज पढ़ा दे। That's not what he's saying. You need to understand, this is an infant. Infant नमाज नहीं पढ़ते होते। You have to understand what Ibrahim alayhi salam is saying. 1 day old Ismail और इब्राहिम अलैहि सलाम कह रहे हैं या अल्लाह पहले इसको नमाज पढ़ा। That's not what a father is praying for. ये आपको समझ आ रही है मेरी बात? भाई साहब की बात समझ आ रही थी आपको कि ये ट्रायंगल, जब मैस्लो कहता है इस मुसलमानों के ये दो खाने ही नहीं पूरे, तो आप ये क्या लेक्चर देते फिरते हैं लोगों को रोज़ी रोटी खिलाएं, उनको सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट्स हुई हुई है, उन्होंने कहा इस्लाम पे आना, इस्लाम तो ये मांग रहा है, लोगों के पास तो यही नहीं, मैस्लो कह रहे हैं। दैट वाज द बॉयज क्वेश्चन। एंड इब्राहिम अलैहिस्सलाम और कुरान अल्लाह अज़्ज़ा वजल से सबसे पहले जब अपना बेटा ख़तरे में आया था, ये भी खतरे में आ गया था, ये भी। सी हाउ आई एम एक्चुअली ट्राइंग टू स्पीक उर्दू सो दैट आई मेक श्योर यू गाइज गो होम विद इट। अदरवाइज इफ आई स्पीक इंग्लिश there is a chance that I'm not going to be able to convey the exact flavor of what Allah Azza wa Jalla is saying, because you guys were brought up into this system, and me too. We think in Urdu, right? We structure things in Urdu. So what I need you to understand, कि कोई चीज़ कसर में ना रह जाए। Ibrahim alayhi salam did not ask for these. Ibrahim starts with this. This is what he's saying, that connect my child with you. या अल्लाह अपने से कनेक्ट कर लें इसको, या अल्लाह मेरे बेटे को अपने से कनेक्ट रखी। उसकी जान के लाले पड़े हुए हैं, खाने को कुछ नहीं है, दुनिया में कोई इंसान नहीं है उसके आसपास, मत या अल्लाह अपने से कनेक्ट रखे। फर्स्ट थिंग। So even if this is not here, first is this, an infant. Then what he says? What does he say next?
So you give them fruits and they...
No, read it from the ayah. No, that's not what he's asking. That's wrong. You missed the second part, see?
ربنا إنك تعلم ما نخفي وما نعلن وما يخفى على الله من شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء.
You were reading English translation, sir. Why don't you reread that very verse in English?
Our Lord, I have settled some of my descendants in an uncultivated valley to the setting house, our Lord, that they may establish prayer.
Prayer. Okay, pause. Prayer, which is not prayer. You know that, right? Then?
So make hearts among the people inclined toward them and provide for them.
There you go. Make people love him, make him love people. Then?
And they might be grateful.
And now you missed the third part. So the fruits. You said the fruits, remember?
Yes, and provide for them from the fruits.
There you go. This is the last thing he asked for. Yeah? So the Maslow's triangle in the Quran, inverted. You got it, Hassan?
So can I repeat? So connection with Allah first.
Yes.
And then love the humanity, and then the fruits.
Then the fruits. Yes. So in other words, it is very necessary. That is very necessary. This is very necessary. Okay? And this absolutely basic. But Maslow keh raha, absolutely basic, very necessary, most necessary, and amazing to have. But if you don't have that, you're going to survive with these. If you have them, only then you can ask for the self-actualization. So Aisha, 17-year-old, have you heard the word self-actualization before?
Yes.
What did you think it meant?
Knowing oneself, being true to oneself. That's what I thought it meant.
Did you not ask whoever told you? What do you mean by that? You never asked. Why?
I thought maybe that I didn't need.
Need to, yes, that's what most human beings go through, Aisha. Everybody actually goes through that. Whenever we hear a difficult word, we don't really need to go through this. I'll do it sometime when, when it's going to be upon me. That's what we do to the Quran as well. That's why अभी तक ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी कुरान की, इसलिए कुरान खोला नहीं है. बचपन में पढ़ा था, अभी समझ नहीं आ रही. जब when I'm going to need it, I'm going to open it. Don't worry. And that's why you're not going to open it, buddy. That is the problem. Now, 100 pounds is not enough pressure, man. You need at least, many million pounds. I'm not talking about the currency, the pressure. We need a lot more pressure. And if there was enough pressure, you would have found out the meaning of that. Like, for example, if you were to sit in an examination for it, you would have really understood it. Even if you didn't want to understand it, you would have read about it. But since there is no exam, there is no effort. Now the problem is, the exam is upon us every single day. The exam of self-actualization. Your own question about peer pressure. You know what the answer is? Self-actualization. You asked me about peer pressure. The only real solution to peer pressure is self-actualization. Otherwise, any and every human being is under some pressure. It's not called peer pressure, but it is the pressure of people. For example, you at 17, where's your mommy? There's your mommy. She's 90%, well, not she, her mother. And where's your father? Wherever he is, him and some other guy or woman, whoever constitutes towards making those fears and fascinations in your mind ever since you were 1 day old to 13-year-old. They made up the definitions, Aisha. Those definitions, your subconscious brain wants to revive, relive, and live up to every single nanosecond of your life. So, whatever you do, she's putting pressure on you without she even knowing about it. Whatever you do, your daddy's putting pressure without him being knowing about it. So your friends, they constitute portions of that pressure. And your mom is blaming a lot of your peers of putting that non-Muslim pressure on you, even though she is the biggest source of that non-Muslim pressure on you. And your father, and your elders. And I'm saying non-Muslim pressure. Okay? I'll show you that non-Muslim pressure. कलमा पढ़ लेने से मुसलमान नहीं हो रहे थे हम. Non-Muslim pressure दिखाता हूँ आपको, फिक्र नहीं करें. पूरा आपको ऐसे नजर आएगा. सब कुछ. The non-Muslim pressure is generated way more now by Muslims than non-Muslims. Actually, a lot of Muslim pressure is built by non-Muslims. For example, England, you're not supposed to break the law, right? You're supposed to be empathetic, be fair. That's Muslim attributes generated by King Charles Arthur Windsor. Who's doing it to you? The law here in England is putting a lot of Muslim pressure on you. And a lot of Muslim people come together and put a lot of non-Muslim pressure on you. I'm not doubting that your peers are going to be pushing you into meth and cocaine and heroin and weapons and drugs and sex and whatever. That's Muslim. No, that's not Muslim. But mind you, most of our parents, whatever they pressurize us under, is not a Muslim pressure. और यही तो मसला आपके बच्चे आपके हाथ से निकल जाएंगे. Because England उनको rationale और sanity दे रहा होगा कई जगहों पे. And you'll be pushing a lot of ज़बरदस्ती on them, saying मुसलमान ऐसे नहीं होते, मुसलमान ऐसे नहीं होते. And they'll be like, हम बुरी तरीके से, अच्छी तरीके से जान गए हैं कि प्रेशर असल में कहाँ से आ रहा है और जिधर से प्रेशर आ रहा है उसी के खिलाफ बगावत करनी है. That's why they've learned to pose in front of you so well, especially girls, so well that you will never be able to detect कि आपका बच्चा असल में आपके पीछे क्या करता है. नोटिस करें, मैं उर्दू में बात कर रहा हूँ ताकि आपकी नस पे जाके डंडा लगे. So you think you know what your kids are up to? No. You will never know what your kids are up to. Because जो गलती पहले 12 साल में हो गई हुई है, उसको दुरुस्त करने का एक तरीका है, वो हम पूरा कर नहीं रहे, और हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि you know what, we are way more attractive than Hollywood and Netflix. No, we're not. Netflix and Hollywood is way more attractive. They know how to tell a story. They know how to convince our children than us. They put not just money in there, they put expertise in there. So when you give a lecture about Islam, this boy's mind is going to go through that. That doesn't really make sense to me, because we never narrate why